Below Pro.
And today on Below Pro, we're going to Bowser Jr.'s lava reactor.
No, we're not.
For the ultimate Summer Slam. We're not going there.
The ultimate Summer Slam. What is your arm doing right now?
I'm like being an announcer.
Do an art. So Jason's kind of like got his arm, like his body is tilted on an angle, and then his arm is like the teapot from I'm a Little Teapot, short and
But
stout.
it's like really forward on his body. It's not on the side. It's
And I mean the handle part, not the spout.
Mario meets Mario.
Yeah, there's no spout all handle here. Because I got a handle on this Summer Slam.
I was gonna say it's all handle, but yet
What is the
too
Summer
much
Slam?
to handle.
Summer's over now. The CNE's in town, which means summer's over.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what I associate with summer ending.
Interesting.
Because the tourists kill the summer?
There were so many tourists this year.
There are a lot of tourists.
Captain Toad, where are you taking us?
Choo choo.
On an endless circle of existential dread.
Don't kill, motherfucker!
The endless circle of train.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a heart. Oh, that's also a heart.
This is one of the hardest galaxies in this game.
Really?
Yep,
Do you really think that?
I do.
What's so tough about it?
One of the comets.
Well, there's that laser.
So there's that 2D Mario that we'll see probably later.
That's the level we're on right now.
And there's a comet where you have to do that
fuck.
faster. It's timed, and it's disgusting.
Well, I'm about to die, so obviously this is... It's
Seems
either
to be living
difficult
up to
or I'm
its name.
stupid.
Yeah.
So we're about to find out which is the truth.
And which is a lie? Next time. Nah, I'm just kidding.
We just started.
I know. We'll figure it out now. You've got life.
I do have life.
You should probably get a life before something happens.
Get a life!
Oh, no.
Bing bong!
Screw you.
What a useless screw. What's the point of it? Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-da. There's a hungry Luma out there.
Bop, bop.
You
What
frog.
the fuck is that?
An asshole.
Oh, he's dead now.
I do like the design of Toy Time Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, you sat on his face.
Ooh.
To me.
Oof. Why are you walking straight on that? I want to see you zigzag.
Zoom around. Okay, wait. I want to see what that hungry Luma wants.
I want to see a zigzag.
Ah!
I'll
That
run
was
into
fast.
that drag.
How much do you want?
Hey you, yeah,
100?
yo. Got any tasty Starbits? Feed me a bunch of Starbits. I'll burst with snacky happiness. I'm famished.
Oh, I got
50.
that. I got so hungry. Ooh.
More.
I got it, boo.
You know what? This just reminds me of DK64. Like the doors you had to get into to fight the bosses.
Yeah.
Like there was the pig and the hippo who were terrifying, and you had to feed them an amount of bananas.
An amount.
An amount. A new planet was born. The wall is made of that foam material you find in children's bedrooms.
Happy birthday.
The entire universe is a bedroom.
Yeah, it is kind of strange. And then apparently the cosmos is outside the window.
Now testify. Du-du-du-du.
Bing bong.
Is he not our friend?
The robot?
Yeah.
He's our friend.
I'm trying to...
He's literally just going to tell you that there's switches under the thwomps, though.
Those aren't thwomps. Those are womps.
Oh, you're right. I think they're womps.
Are they actually called womps?
Well, they're not thwomping. Oh, shit.
Oh shit. 7 out of.
Yeah.
Let me out. Thank you. Sorry.
The fear sets in.
Claustrophobia. Ooh, do you guys have any weird fears?
Weird fears.
What are we afraid of?
I have an unusual fear of pistachios.
What?
Well, you are allergic to
Oh.
them. Oh, you undid that one.
So, I've never actually been, like, formally prescribed as having an allergy to pistachios.
Right.
But I'm fairly sure I am. Because I broke out in hives after eating pistachios.
So you're probably allergic to pistachios.
But it's pretty strange because I'm not allergic to any other nut. And it doesn't really make sense to me. Because you think I'd be allergic to other nuts. What's unique about pistachios? Is that a common thing?
Actually, I do know a few people. So, and some people are allergic to certain types of nuts. I don't know why. Like,
See?
I know some people who are allergic to walnuts specifically.
All I'm saying is, to me, I think that's nuts.
Oh, my goodness.
You set me up so well for the perfect execution.
Wait, are you actually afraid of pistachios, or were
He
you
is
just...
actually.
I'm kind of afraid of pistachios.
Okay.
I was gonna say allergic, but
Allergic.
I didn't want to say afraid.
No, well, like I don't think a pistachio's gonna come get me.
These
but
camera angles make me want to die.
Yeah, this is
I don't know. I guess something that's actually weird that I'm afraid of is like in between sized crowds. And what I mean by that is I am totally a-okay talking in public to
Wait, where
large
is-
crowds where you can kind of get lost in them.
Yep.
And I'm totally okay talking intimately with like 1 to 5 people. But there's this number of people that's somewhere between like 10 and 25 people where it feels like all their little beady eyes are staring at you. And it feels far too intimate, yet far too public. And it feels like all of them are judging me at the same time.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, there's
interesting.
this like weird in between number of people that's like, you know, like 5 people, I'm fine. I'm having my jam. It's a party. 6, I'm turned off. You know?
Yeah.
It's strange. Obviously, it's case by case depending on the room you're in. But frickin' like when I was in school, it was no problem in like grade 4 presenting in front of the class. You get into high school and you're presenting a philosophy project in front of like the 5 other people who are taking philosophy. And I'm just like, this is weird. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. I always had like a weird thing with cameras, which is funny because we were streaming earlier.
Yeah.
I remember being in like ASL in university, and we had to film like tests for my prof to watch later. So we would like film a monologue of us signing. And for some reason, I always got super nervous in front of it because I think it's because I knew only like one person was watching it. So I was like, this is really intimate. Like it was like too intimate because I can talk one-on-one with somebody. Sometimes I have a fear of talking one-on-one with somebody. I have to be like actually really cool with them to be able to do it. But if it's somebody who I'm like not as close with, I'm like, what if we can't like figure out what to talk about? What if we have to sit in silence for longer than 2 seconds? What
Yeah.
happens then? Which like, ooh, that's freaky.
It does take time to get comfortable being in silence with someone.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like if you're like going on a date, for instance,
Right.
so the first time you're meeting a person, that's terrifying because like what happens if you just like can't click enough to be able to talk? What do? Do you just be like, I gotta go?
I gotta go. Well, you know what's funny? In my eyes, like, being scared of just having to go is kind of a funny thing to be scared of. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we are talking about weird fears.
Yeah. Like, when you think about the premise, like, the worst that can happen is you feel an urge to leave the situation.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's just funny that way.
Yeah.
But obviously we get so nervous because we feel that the stakes are higher. Mm-hmm. Like we're concerned about it going poorly, not because of the like worst case scenario, I guess, but more like because we're so obsessed with the positive outcome that we don't want it to be negative,
Yeah.
even though the negative outcome doesn't really matter. It's funny that way.
Philosophy with Jason.
Philosophy with Jason Thompson. Presenting in front of 2 people.
Because any more would be traumatic.
Because any more would be traumatic. That's right.
Unless it's like 20.
Unless it's like over 20 and I kind of get lost with them in the crowd.
It's interesting because, yeah, it's a parabola of, like, comfort.
Yeah.
I've actually got a similar, I wouldn't say fear, but, like, anxiety.
Oh.
Um,
Oh
like,
goodness.
when I used to do, like, vocal performing, like, I couldn't do it in front of, like, a small crowd. Like, if it was intimate, I would just be like, I can't. This is, like, you guys are here, right here in front of me, like, watching me, and I can see you watching me, and that makes me scared, like, uncomfortable. But, like, I could sing, like, in front of crowds of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Like, had no problem with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Same thing with like shows. I've done shows in front of like small audiences just to like, you know, we need an audience to see it before we actually perform. And it'll be like 5 or 6 people and like a teacher. But once we actually do the performance in front of hundreds of people, it's fine. But
Yeah.
that small crowd is fucking scary, dude. Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
to go back.
I would say it's more of an
Uh-oh.
insecurity thing on my part.
Uh-oh.
Don't you love it when this game's like, ah, screw you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so good!
Well done. Well done.
I'm doing the video game today.
And I think a lot of the fears I have aren't actually odd. They're probably like pretty common. Like I've got a fear of open water.
Oh, I was just thinking that open water, where I can't see the bottom. That's
Yeah.
also a thing. If I can't see the bottom, I'm not doing it.
Ugh, I hate the idea of eels and the idea of leeches.
Sea snakes.
See,
And then the idea of the combination of both, which is lampreys.
You're right. Sea.
now, see there.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that you say leeches because leeches are usually like when you can touch the surface. They're
Yeah.
usually along beaches and stuff. And they're usually where it's muddy and dirty because they sneak in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny. I have no fear of open water at all, but mostly because of my experience probably camping as a kid. And like, it's always just swimming in the lake. And my parents, I think, summed it up right, where the fish are more scared of you than you are of them.
You know,
Generally
people-
speaking.
People keep saying that, and I'm like, that's probably true. But you know what happens when you get scared? You fight, or you run away. It's one of two options.
Fight or flight. My thing with open water is like it's got to be like in the middle of the ocean, can't see land. Like a lake is fine. It's not my
That
most
is-
ideal situation, but
That is actually terrifying.
that's terrible. Like that's like an all hope is lost. Like what do?
Yeah.
You're dead.
That's like
And
Alfred Hitchcock's
Yeah.
The Bird's terrifying.
All you have to do is wait until something eats you or you die. Well,
Oh wow! Look at this wall jumping action. Can we? Now that we've talked about real fears, can we make up a fake silly fear? Even though I do apologize to anybody if the fears we make up are actually ones you're scared of. All fears are viable.
fear of-
Hashtag all
Oh
fears.
my god. Fear of strawberries. Why can't I jump? There we cheesums.
A fear of, okay, let's take the idea of strawberries and go a fear of food items that have many small seeds.
There are. I've seen clips on YouTube that'll pop up in my recommended, and it's like strange. What is it called? I don't know what it is, but it's people with like weird eating habits, and some people will like legitimately be afraid of vegetables. And I'm like, what? How does that happen? I think I might have mentioned it before, but there was a woman who was what the fuck?
What are you doing?
I don't
Mario?
know.
What are you doing,
There was a
Mario?
woman who all she ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was cheesy potatoes and various forms of cheesy potatoes. Can I die right now? So yeah, that was really weird because they're like, okay, here's a lettuce. Just put it in your mouth. And she was like gagging and crying. And I was like, what? How bizarre. Like, that's a real thing.
That is very strange.
Or she had this like weird fear of ham specifically because she's like, I was at my grandparents' house and they really wanted me to eat ham and I just hated the smell of it and they just forced me to eat it and it was awful and I vomited everywhere and now I can never look at ham.
Okay, I can relate to that a little bit. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. I have a story about that, actually.
About ham specifically.
About your ham fear?
About my fear of eating lamb, actually.
Oh, rhyming.
Yeah. So, the only way my
Please.
parents could convince my brother and I to eat the lamb was to let us know by lying
Yeah.
that it was roast beef.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so obviously we try the lamb and we have taste buds and it's not roast beef,
No, it's very different.
right? And
Oh,
so
we're
it was a very confusing point in our childhood because it's the first time our parents openly lied about something like that, like it was a very clear breach of the trust of the rules. And so now we're here both disgusted because we're confused by what we ate and concerned about our well-being.
Yeah. How can you ever live in this house again?
That's right. I didn't eat lamb for like years. Years. Until my adulthood. And
Yeah.
at which point it was actually lamb and we knew it.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I feel like lamb is just not something that's on a lot of, like, North America's taste bud.
That's
Yeah.
Like, personally, I'm not a fan of lamb.
Love lamb. Lamb is so good.
But yeah, my parents kind of did a similar thing where, except for I was a lot more stupid, because they tried to feed me turnips, and I was like, oh, no
Yum.
way, I'm not eating turnips. And then they prepared the turnips, like they diced them up into small square cubes.
I hate this.
And they're like, yeah, you should have some of this. I'm like, what is it? They're like, it's square corn.
Oh,
It's square corn.
It's square corn.
And I ate it, and I was like, oh, wow, that's
square
pretty
corn, of
decent.
course.
And they're like, we got you. It's turnips. Like, they did that full on, like, you got pranks.
Of course. Square corn.
Yeah, I was an idiot.
Kids believe anything.
Yep.
My stepmom tried to do like stuff like that where she would just like hide food, but she would just openly tell me, and she'd be like, eat it, and I'd be like, no, I don't want to, and she's like, no, you have to eat it, and I was like, okay. Like, she would just like fearfully make me eat things. It wasn't lying. It's like you
threatening
you need
to eat it.
Yeah. Which I like appreciate now.
Sure, yeah.
But like, she's like, eat, like, you need to try everything once. Like, how do you know you don't like it if you don't try it? And I was like, I guess, okay. And she's like, just fucking do it.
See, my problem with that logic is like a lot of human beings died from poisonous mushrooms long ago
I don't think she was.
in a galaxy far, far away.
Secrets.
How do I know if something's good? You know all those commercials that tell me not to put it in my
Don't you
mouth?
put it in your
And
mouth.
now you're telling me to put it in my mouth?
How dare you?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Done.
Dice a one-up.
That was fun.
I don't need that.
Walking
That's
around
enough.
inside the sphere is neat.
Yeah, it's very nice. Where'd that sphere come from?
Also, why did you not fall at the other end of that spoon?
Ah. It's magic spoon.
That spoon must have wonderful reception.
Excuse me, don't fall down on my spoon. You stay on your spoon. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, dear God, no. Oh, but hey, you got a good jump out of that.
Oh,
That was pretty lucky getting out of that in time.
good luck. Oh, it's a toad. Cake.
Cake. Oh, boy.
No, stop it.
Oh, that's fun. You must kill the turtles.
Oh.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Robots, the na turtles.
Great. Do I have to put out the fires? Is that what's happening?
Blow out the candles.
I do. Happy
Oh.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Adorable little gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Beautiful. Birthday time. What's your
What-
favorite flavor of cake?
Strawberry shortcake.
Oh, sorry. My Pepsi was just like condensating and it just traveled down and touched my hand. I was just not expecting a wet to touch me.
That's funny.
Whoa.
What's your favorite cake flavor?
Definitely strawberry shortcake.
Honestly, the strawberry shortcake at the bakery we worked at was fucking delicious.
Yeah, you know, before I worked there, our friend Robin, for my birthday, got me a cake, and she was like, "What's your favorite kind of cake?" And at the time, I was like, "I don't know."
What's
And then she got me a cake,
what am I supposed to do here?
and she got me like a buttercream like vanilla cake,
Oh.
and I was like, "Oh, this is so sweet." I've realized this is not my favorite type of cake. But we ate it, and it was fun and sweet, and oh my goodness, what a sweetheart.
I'm not big on cake in general, but
Oh.
ice cream cakes?
Now,
I mean,
that's
they're just ice cream with fudgy stuff in them.
Yeah.
that's
oh,
one of the best types of
cheesums.
cakes.
Yeah, like it's great because it's not cake.
Yes.
Do you want to hear a fantastic story about how I ate a lot of ice cream cake for free? Was because I lived in a share house in university, and a girl who lived in my house had like a big birthday party with all of her friends, and they bought the largest size Dairy Queen ice cream cake you could get,
That's
and they didn't even
dangerous.
touch it.
Oh
They
my
didn't even
God.
touch
They did
it?
not touch it, and so I remember like opening the freezer downstairs, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I got this cake for my birthday. Like I don't really want it though." None of my friends really wanted it.
What?
So like you guys can have it. You guys being me, Robin, and like the two guys that lived on the first floor. And we were like, hell yeah. So we got this like incredibly expensive cake and just got to eat it for free because her and her friends didn't want it. Fantastic. Oh.
You know, you hear about that kind of thing with like pickles, olives. Like, you know, you got that one friend who's like, "Ah, man, I hate pickles," and somebody else is like, "Man, I love pickles." It's like, that's why we're in a happy
Yeah,
relationship.
I'll give you the pickle on my sandwich.
Fuck
Like,
yeah! If I could find somebody like that with ice cream cake, oh, marry me, please.
please.
Well, you'd have to find someone that's receiving ice cream cake that doesn't want
Regularly.
it. Yeah.
Which no one says no to ice cream cake. I think that's why I was
and
so
no
shook.
one receives it regularly. It is blessed.
Yeah, ice cream cake is like someone really appreciates you as a friend, and that's why they got you an ice cream cake.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because it's like, it's also getting it, like you have to have time.
That's right.
It's a time sensitive thing to buy.
And
you can't
a
let it melt.
temperature-sensitive thing.
Yeah, you can't let it melt. You have to make sure that you're like in a place where it can be in a freezer until you have to eat it, because you can't like bring it to a restaurant and sit down for 2 hours and then bring it out.
It's true. Yeah, it takes some planning. And just like Below Pro, we occasionally also need to go back into the freezer to make sure that our forms are held up. So we're going to see you guys tomorrow for more Below Pro Gaming. Thank you for tuning in. This is us signing out. And back into the freezer we go. Bye.
We didn't even do Bowser Jr.'s lava reactor.
Well, I mean,
SummerSlam.
we can't bring the reactor in here. It's cold. It's a freezer.
We're gonna do it now.
No, we're not.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it tomorrow when we get out of the freezer.
No, we're not. We're doing Sea Slide Galaxy.